Did I do that? Yeah, you did, sis. This is part 2 of the story time of how I got cheated on by Carl Winslow. So, from the beginning, in 2021, I made the decision to move to Atlanta. My best friend and I came to do a recon trip upon which we discovered the Atlanta Food and Wine Festival. It was like the last event that we did while we were here, and it was the thing that kind of sealed the deal, and I was like, this is a city that I could live in. I wanted to be in a city where I could do television, theater, and film, go home every day. And truthfully, I wanted to be around Black people. I've never been married, I don't have any kids, and I know everybody has what they say about dating in Atlanta, but there's still a better chance of me finding a Black man to marry here than in San Diego, where the population of Black people is only 6%. Let's just keep it real. So, the Atlanta Food and Wine Festival stole my heart. And I came to Atlanta in November of 2021, and I was super happy. I was booking everything I touched, but still having to travel out of town. And July 7th, 2022, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. I'd already booked a show in Portland, and I decided that I wanted to keep doing that, okay? So I was having surgeries, going through treatment in Portland, flying to San Diego for chemo, going back and doing the show. Until after the show was over, I went to San Diego to finish up treatment, okay? When I was done, I was so excited about going back to Atlanta. It was like the thing I looked forward to. So I was officially back July 2023, 1 year later, and I was excited. And I knew in September that the Atlanta Food and Wine Festival would be coming up. And the deal I made with myself was, I'm not going with anybody else unless I'm dating somebody serious. And I was dating online, and I was running into the duds like usual, but I wasn't dating anyone special. So I decided to go by myself. I get there, and the festival has all of the magic that it had when I first went. And although it is a beautiful festival, it's not a place where people go solo. People go in groups of friends. People go with their significant other. And I knew that would be the case, but I'm no stranger to doing things by myself. I've traveled by myself. I enjoy being by myself. I enjoy people. Strangers are my favorite thing on the planet. But I was prepared. However, when I first got there, I saw 2 young Black men without dates. And I was like, that's new. But I just kept it pushing. But in that moment, I saw one see me, and I saw him see me, seeing him, seeing me. He was in a bucket hat and an Outcast t-shirt. And we'll call him Carl. And he was with a friend who later I would find out we'll just call him Louie. And he was just visiting. I go throughout the festival, I'm having a great time, but at this point, since I'm by myself, the majority of my conversation has been, oh, thank you, or excuse me, or this is good, with strangers who aren't really trying to engage, and I wanted to have a real conversation. And as I walked back through the festival, there was a table, and look at here, Carl and Louie are just sitting there. And me being the way that I am, hi, how you guys doing? I'm Brittany, what's your name? I was the kid that was always going to go find somebody to play with on the playground. And I'm still the same. And we get into conversation, and they seem like some really cool dudes. Really, really cool. We have some shots together. They're like gentlemen. And just nice. Just really nice. I find out that both of them have kids. Louie is married. And that he doesn't live here. He's just visiting. And Carl talks about how he's going to take him to some of the Atlanta classics. He's going to take him to U-Bar. He's going to take him to Blue Cantina and VVS. And I'm like, wow, I live in that area. Carl says, me too. This is crazy. This is Atlanta. Nobody lives by each other. Wow, I want to go with you guys. He's like, oh, okay, you're going to meet us up there? I don't drink and drive. I Ubered up here. I'm going to go with y'all. Look, y'all might think that's wild, but like, I'm not afraid of strangers, and I'm still alive, so. And he's just not getting it. And eventually Louis is like, nigga, she going with us. And he's like, oh. So you guys, we go and we have the best time. Louis is tripping out about the difference in the clubs here compared to where he's from. Carl and I are chopping it up and, having a good time. He's not necessarily trying to holler at me, but he's not necessarily not. And it's fine because I don't care. I'm just here for a good time, and I was glad to meet people that I could hang out with. The next day, I go to Miami because I'm about to go for a week-long birthday trip because after going through cancer, I wanted to celebrate my life. My birthday was big, and I wasn't going to wait for anybody to do that. So while I was in Miami the night before the cruise left, I talked to Carl on the phone. We FaceTimed. And we was just chopping it up. I learned a lot more about him. He had been recently divorced or like in the middle of a divorce. And, he just seemed like a cool dude. But again, I didn't really know what he wanted. Like, are you trying to talk to me? Are you not trying to talk to me? I mean, because I wasn't tripping either way. I just like people. He lives by me. No big deal. And he kind of got off the phone abruptly. And that was it. I went on my cruise and kept it pushing. I had a great time on my cruise. And when I got back, I was out and about and Carl just hit me up. He was like, hey, what are you doing? And I was like, I'm just out and about. He said, hey, would you come over? I'm hosting a gathering. A friend of mine lost a friend to breast cancer. And I don't know if I was thinking maybe you'd be able to support her. And I said, oh, okay. This is odd. Now. How now? Although I had breast cancer. Do you think I want to go to a breast cancer death party? Not really. But again, he seemed like a cool guy. I'm like, you know what? We can be, like, we're friends. We're going to be friends. We're like kind of neighbors. Like, why wouldn't we? And nobody knows what to do in this situation. But I guess that I could be a little bit of comfort, even though I'm alive and her friend's not. But I went. He was like, what do you drink? I'll get that because, I really appreciate you coming by. And, all right, cool. So I get there and he has some of his work friends. They're there and this young lady is there. And we all have a really good night. We're drinking. She is talking about her friend and like, it's cool. I was glad I went. I don't need to go any more breast cancer death parties, but I was glad I went. And at the end of the night, Carl's like, hey, my friend so-and-so is going to take you home, even though he had told me he would take me home. And I was like, okay. The friends seemed cool, so I wasn't tripping. They all seemed safe, y'all. And as I was leaving, Carl tucks in the young lady with his robe and says, oh, don't forget your bottle. And I was like, nah, I'm sure we'll hang out again. He was like, no, take it. I was like, oh, okay. And in that moment, I was like, well, he's got a little boo thing. He done sent me on my way with my alcohol. All right. He's really not trying to holler at me. We're definitely going into friend zone. Cool.